In recent years, when growth figures have been announced for different parts of the world, Sub-Saharan Africa has often been among the regions with bullish performance relative to the rest. The projection for GDP growth for Sub-Saharan Africa this year, however, stands at 1.4%, down from 3.4% last year.
At the moment, our projection is for there to be a growth rebound fairly similar to the previous slowdowns. So we're projecting growth next year to go up to 3%, and then further to 4.5% and beyond from 2018 onwards. However, this is predicated on very prompt policy action, particularly in the commodity exporters.
Kenya has, however, backed the trend, and together with Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia and Senegal, is among the countries whose GDP is expected to continue growing by more than 6% per annum.
Kenya has continued to register strong economic growth, expanding at 6.2% in the second quarter of this year, and projected to remain on course and expand by over 6% in 2016 and around 6.5% over the medium term.
It's a different story for the largest economies in sub-Saharan Africa, which are heavily reliant on commodity prices. Angola, Nigeria, and South Africa are weighing down on the region's growth prospects, with Angola in particular taking a massive hit occasioned by the drop in crude oil prices.
Just because of the shocks that came from the price reduction in crude petroleum prices, Angola's loss in terms of government revenues is equivalent to 20% of GDP. And the reason I say this is because diversification, as anybody who's been sat here thinks, it's very clear. But what it tells you is how difficult it is to achieve, because I don't think that these governments necessarily decide that, look, we don't need to diversify.
Among the reforms that Kenya is targeting to improve her economic situation include an overhaul of the income tax law and a widening of the tax base by roping in micro, small and medium enterprises.
Mostly we are doing very well in revenue collections like South Africa. We're trying to benchmark ourselves with South Africa. They raise about 25% of GDP. We are in the range of 20%. Of course, much better than other African countries, which they are in the range of 13, 14 to about 18.
Countries that are still growing rapidly, such as Kenya, should rebuild buffers in comparatively favorable times to stem the increase in public debt.
The time to fix the roof is when the sun is shining.
Alex Mwangi, NTV.